Hello, beautiful dancers. Welcome to Technique Tips. I'm Christina, and today we are going to be working with ribcage slides, diamonds, and circles. In one of my previous technique tips, we worked on chest lifts and ribcage lifts. So today, what I'm going to start with is a ribcage lift, just as a little reminder if you didn't see that one, and then we'll get to the slides, diamonds, and circles. I'll explain everything before we drill it to music. Here we go with our ribcage lifts. I point to my back because we're going to use the muscles in between your shoulder blades, between your shoulder blades and your spine. So for lifting that rib cage, I want you to think about drawing those muscles in and down, and that is going to lift your rib cage up and give you a little bit of an upper back bend. And as we set that back to our neutral, we want to do it with intention and energy. So making sure that we feel almost a lift coming from our back to release it. So we squeeze, and as we release, we want to lift up and place our torso back onto our hips, if you can think of it that way. So we go squeeze, and then the little lift, intentional release, squeeze, and the lift for an intentional release. We'll do one more of those, squeeze, and here. Now, as we're doing that, we're trying to keep our arms and shoulders as still as possible, making sure we're not squeezing those shoulders back and together in the shoulder blades. We want to work with that space between the shoulder blade and the spine. So that is our ribcage lift. Little review from a previous video. All right. We are now going to get into slides. I'm pointing here because slides come from side body. We're trying to take that whole rib cage and slide it from one direction to the other, right and left and right, however you're viewing this. And we want to keep our shoulders nice and even and level. So it's not a tilt, rather it is a slide. So we're going to think about the muscles through here, also up through here and the side and the chest as well, and try to get a nice clean contraction across. So if I pull, or rather if I contract on one side, I will slide to the opposite side. If I contract over here, I will slide over there. And this whole time my hips are going to remain still. So making sure we're not pushing our weight out from the side to side in the hips, lower body is completely still, and I'm just contracting the muscles to pull across. Shoulders stay level, head stays level, bangs stay neat, and just straight across, and straight across, and straight across. And you begin to really feel that in the side body muscles right through here, right? Straight across, just a few more, across, and back to the other side. Boom. Of course, always making sure we've got our posture in check, that we're engaging that low belly so we don't stick our booty out behind us. Nice soft bend in the knees, very soft knees. Even though we're not really using them for this, we're just standing still. Still very important for our overall posture to not lock out those knees and to be ready for anything. So we have our slides. And from the previous video, we have our lifts. And releasing that lift, and releasing the lift, all in the rib cage. So this whole thing is about moving our rib cage around without doing any hip movement at all. So let's get into how we make our diamond. We have 4 points, we have a side, and up and a release. We're going to go a little bit further into that release when we make our diamond, and here's how. So I'm going to slide to one side. And now from here, I'm going to take that back contraction to lift the rib cage up, but the slide is gone. I came back to my center. Now I'm going to release this and at the same time slide over to the other side. Now instead of just coming through center and releasing, what I'm going to do is take a little bit extra and contract the upper belly just right here, almost like doing a crunch standing up, without rounding out the shoulders. So here, a little contraction in. Everything else stays exactly the same. Let's look at that again. I'm going to go slide to one side, squeeze between the shoulders to lift the chest, slide to the other side, and a little contraction without rounding out or messing with my posture. Let's try it on the other direction. I'm going to go slide to this side. I'm going to squeeze between the shoulder blades to lift. Slide to the other side. Little contraction. Again on this direction. Slide to the side. Squeeze those shoulder blades together to lift. Slide to the other side. And contract. All right. So that is our diamond. And this is a wayward piece of bangs that just doesn't want to cooperate today. But we're going to keep going. All right. Now we have our diamond. What we need to do to create a circle is to simply connect those dots basically and make a nice smooth transition from one isolation to the next, to the next, to the next, and keep it going through. So we have, it's kind of like a diagonalish circle. It doesn't go completely horizontal. It doesn't go completely vertical. It kind of goes up to the front and a tiny bit down to the back. So it's more of this kind of a shape. All right. So checking in with that posture, low belly is in, soft knees, and release those arms out to the side, or you can anchor them on your hips if that helps you keep your hips still. Anything's acceptable there. Shoulders down and relaxed. Smile. And we're going to start going this direction. We're going to slide, lift it up, slide to the other side, take a contraction in, slide, up, slide, in. And my shoulders are relaxed, which means they might move a little bit within this movement. You can kind of see a little bit of that happening, but I'm not doing anything active in the shoulders to make that happen. I'm just going slide, lift, slide, in, and I'm remaining still in the rest of my body, but not stiff. Let's go the other way. Slide, lift, slide, in, slide, lift, slide, in, slide, lift. We're going to take one more here. Slide, lift, slide, in. So when we turn those diamonds into circles, we start to hit all these little points in between where we're arcing up and going through diagonals and arcing back and down and going through those diagonals. I'm not going to break down those diagonals today. Maybe in another video we'll get into more detail about those upper and lower diagonal corners with our rib cage. For now, all we're going to do is drill a little bit of rib cage lift and drop, a little bit of slide, some diamonds, and some circles together to a nice little piece of music.